So today, Emmanuel Noisette.
Yes, sir.
Who are you?
Love them.
What's going on,
I'm gonna say who you are. No,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say who
Hey,
Emmanuel is.
Do you think?
I watch his E-Man reviews on Facebook all the time. You touch in a very nice way about bad, like you don't give a bad. I ain't never seen a bad review from you.
I can tell you why.
It's like you PC, you politically correct with these.
It's not that. It's more of the fact that I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste other people's time with bad movies.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to go see a bad. Like you got to trick me into your movie being bad. You know what I'm saying? For me to go see it, because I can sniff a bad movie out from a trailer, from the cast, from whatever. So I'll give you a quick one right now. Uncle Drew, it's gonna be Huff. That's a straight to DVD movie.
Uncle Drew.
Uncle Drew.
You know
Kyrie
what?
Irving.
I thought that was a spoof. Actually,
No, that's a
where
real
it wasn't a movie coming out.
No, that's a real movie.
They gonna do an hour and some minutes on that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, that's gonna be one of those movies, matinee. Maybe you feeling a certain way.
The best scenes look like they were on a commercial.
You know, like, and that's the thing. It's never a good recipe when you got old NBA stars and maybe a couple comedians in a movie. It's just not a good recipe. So if you're looking for my review for something like that, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
So
you know what I'm saying?
If you ain't got nothing bad to say about something?
That's not that I don't have anything bad. Now, the structure of my reviews is purposely set up to keep me objective as possible. So I give you the good, I give you the bad,
literally.
I give you the reason and the rating. So that way, again, I'm not wasting people's time. I'm giving you literally exactly what you want to hear from a movie so you can make the best decision you want to. So that's kind of how I started out. Because at the end of the day, y'all don't really see a lot of black film critics. Right? Which means you don't hear a black perspective on the same film that's out there. Right? And there's a very big difference between how we view movies and how, let's just say, general audiences, or critics do movies. So I got into this game because I didn't hear our voice.
It sounds like you playing a game. Like you don't want to put a bad movie review out where you was a critic where you put a bad movie review
Oh, no, I
out.
have. Like, Transformers is trash.
What about Proud Mary?
Proud Mary was not good.
Proud Mary was trash.
It was not good.
At the end of Proud Mary, I wanted my money back. And I had seen the whole movie all the way through.
You know what? I didn't review it. You see what I'm saying? Right. I did a live reaction for it because people wanted to know. I titled my video, "Hey y'all, I saw Proud Mary for you." You know what I'm saying?
That's a bird.
Good. You know what I'm saying?
That's a bird and a bear.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it's like, because again, I got into this game because I didn't see something out there that I wanted, which is, somebody just tell me without ruining the movie whether it's worth my time and money or not. I want people to understand that I'm just giving an opinion, and my opinion is going to be supported by whatever other facts or ideas or thoughts that I have. But at the end of the day, your opinion is what matters. So you know what I'm saying?
So what is your opinion about Black Panther?
Good. You overall?
Because I saw his Facebook Live. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
The Facebook Live was about, I want to say 18 minutes. And a good 30 seconds was just cheesing in the beginning. Like,
with the Panther?
Like, you know how a kid can look in the present and gift and pull the paper back and see it a little bit.
I mean, hey, look, man.
You were excited.
Yeah.
Just about seeing the movie in itself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Maddie, when I walked in, she was like, "Hey, how's Black Panther?" And I was like, "It's Christmas." Like that's what it is, and it's Christmas for a lot of reasons, right?
Right.
I mean, who did you look up to as a superhero when you was growing up?
Captain America.
Captain America. Absolutely. If you went to the Halloween store and dressed up as Captain America, would you really feel okay? Would other people look at you like, "What the hell are you doing, black man in America? Like, should we shoot you down?" Who did you steal that from? Why are you doing this?
So basically, Black Panther gave you something that you can identify who you want as a superhero that looks like you, that talks like you.
Black Panther,
where you come from. Right?
Black Panther is the very first black superhero, especially on film, that I would say everyone can look up to the same way that they look up to
Hold up, you ain't about to do my man Blade like that.
Superman or Wonder Woman. The reason why he's different than Blade or Spawn, because Spawn was first.
Yeah.
They're anti-heroes.
Right.
I don't want to grow up to be a hellspawn, trapped in hell. I don't want to be a half vampire that's fighting every day not to kill other people.
Right.
And fight against that bloodlust.
That's good.
Blade is dope. Don't get me wrong. Spawn is dope too. I love all those series. That's not. My mom's not about to let me grow up and be like a half vampire with a big old sword around. I could barely be a Ninja Turtle. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, right. I'm not about to be Blade, but I respect the hell out of the movie, and I love what they did for comic movies down the road. But they're not a king. They're not the most technologically advanced society in the world. They're not a man who has 6 PhDs, a black man at that. They're not the most physically gifted person damn near in all of Africa. They're not the one leader of a country. Okay. I mean, I told you.
But you know what? Wait a minute. I'll be honest. Last night, I knew that you was coming in, and I had to watch this movie because I wanted to be able to, have a dialogue with you.
Yeah.
So I bought my ticket for 10:30. After the kids went to sleep, I was going to go run to the movie and make sure that I watched it, and my conscience ate me because I felt like this was a movie that they had to see. Went to Crestwood, got my refund back, bought 4 tickets for $58.96.
Well worth it.
3D. And you know what? I think the 3D took away from it because what is it? CSI?
CGI.
CGI.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was just so phony on the screen. So I really don't like. And I know Marvel didn't hold back from the CGI.
Yeah.
I know they didn't hold back from it, but I think the 3D just takes away from it.
Let me give, and I'll do this tip for audience members. There are 2 reasons that will make you want to go see a movie in 3D, or at least justify the viewing of 3D. The first one is whether or not, and I can't hold people against them, if they don't know this going in. It depends on if the movie is shot with a 3D camera. If it's shot with a 3D camera intentionally, like Avatar, right? They knew this entire thing was going to be 3D.
Right.
Then it's going to be good. Because usually when they make that level of investment, everything that's coming at you it's intentional to be a 3D experience.
Love it.
The second thing is when you go into the movie, or actually I should say the difference is with the 3D camera, sometimes they'll make the movie and then they'll put the 3D effects in after. Those are the movies that you're like, this feels cheesy. Because that's what it is. It's after finish. It wasn't shot that way. Right. They just did it just to get a couple extra dollars.
Right.
The second point is whether or not that movie has at least more than 3 to 4 memorable 3D moments. If a movie only, like Ninja Turtles was a great example I can remember. They had one scene throughout the entire movie where like a tank was coming at you, and you're like, "Whoa!"
That was the only time it was actually
but
worth
that's
it.
it.
Right.
I would never tell somebody to go watch that in 3D,
right?
Because it's not worth it. Now, if you were to tell me like, "Yo, Doctor Strange," yes, go see that in 3D because it was intentionally made that way. Whether you like it or not is different, but at least they put the effort in there so that way you can have some sort of real experience.
So the actual movie
I told him this wasn't a game. I told him that.
I came ready.
So the actual movie itself, where I think they did a great job in picking up where if you don't know about the movie, you know about the movie just watching it from the beginning.
Yes.
And I think they catered to the fact that they knew that a lot of black folks that came to watch this would not know about Black. I honestly, before Civil War, never known about Black Panther.
Sure.
Before Civil War. And I thought it was something that they made up, but of course Marvel don't really mess with the integrity of making up things. They stick to the original script.
They try only because they're restricted because of their lack of comic book rights for movies. So back in like the early '90s, mid '90s, Marvel was going bankrupt. So because they were going bankrupt, they had to sell off properties and rights. So that's why X-Men is with 20th Century Fox. That's why Spider-Man is with Sony.
Deadpool is with Fox.
That's with Fox right now.
Because Disney won't put out an R-rated movie, right?
Right. That's not in their wheelhouse. Right. They kind of put all their R-rated stuff on Netflix.
Right.
But not the movies. Because if you think about it, when you do an R-rated movie, you're limiting a large segment of your population, which cuts into your profit.
Right.
Disney is great for family movie because you gonna bring your kids. That's 4 tickets versus it's just you.
I took my kids to see Deadpool. And we're going to see Deadpool.
I mean, you could do that, but I'm saying like other kids can't go. You know,
right.
I mean, that's rough. But hey, you do your thing, bro. I ain't judging, but yeah, that is intentional. But I did kind of judge a little. But yeah, that's why they can't do the straight up comic book stories, and they got to kind of play with it because they don't have the X-Men. You can't see Avengers versus X-Men. Not unless they buy him out.
I think they did.
They're trying. It's not finalized yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the movie itself.
Yes.
On a scale from 1 to 10, where are we?
My spoiler free review is dropping tomorrow. I will give you my exact number.
I think it's on Fire Stick tonight. We good.
It's dropping tomorrow, but I'll say it's between a 9 and a 10.
What don't you like?
Oh, okay, so we going there. What I don't like, and I'm not trying to really give nothing away because I don't like to roll like that, but the mirror villain problem. And this is a problem that Marvel has had for a long time. That problem is basically when you have the hero and the villain, and they pretty much are the same, except they just have different motivations. So Iron Man, he's an iron guy, is fighting another guy in an iron suit. Right. Ant-Man, he's fighting another guy that could shrink, in the Wasp. You got Doctor Strange, who's fighting another sorcerer that's doing the same stuff.
Right.
You got the Hulk going against another person that's got the Hulk serum. It's too much. It's the same thing. It adds no level of nuance or diversity. And what I think is it holds back basically like the hurdle that the hero has to overcome. So in Black Panther, he's fighting another person that has a Panther suit. So it's kind of like, man, can't y'all give me something different?
Was Killmonger an actual enemy in the original comics of the year?
Yeah.
So that was an actual...
Yeah. Killmonger, I mean, because everybody wants to throw him.
But you know what, though? Yeah. I like the fact, and I don't know if it was from the director or if it was from the actual comic, that you had two black individuals where one wanted to do things diplomatic, which was, Chadwick.
Sure.
And Michael Jordan,
Michael B. Jordan.
I gotta look at my notes. Michael B. Jordan, he was like he was like that black guy that just wanted justice, that just wanted to go against the enemy, didn't care, kill all the white people and everything like that. So I think it was
more radicalized.
Definitely more radical.
Yeah.
It was different in that regard.
Sure.
And that was the duality of it that I saw.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're right on point. I mean, some people want to liken it to a MLK versus Malcolm X type of approach. I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Because for one, when you go into the movie, T'Challa or Chadwick Boseman's character, he's
T'Challa.
T'Challa.
I just learned that.
There you go. He's not fully developed yet in terms of what his morals and direction are yet.
And he was learning that.
And he learns throughout and that's something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Everyone that talks to him, notice what Eric Killmonger was saying was the same thing that Nakia was saying. They was just coming from different perspectives on the same goal. So everything that he's taking in from everyone, that's molding his character throughout the entire film.
It did, because he came up with the decision
later.
But you know what, though? He incorporated both of what Killmonger wanted.
He did, a little bit.
Because he knew that he was just misguided.
Well, it's not misguided. He just wasn't ready.
He was misguided.
Because he was thrown into this whole...
Left for dead. He was left for dead. He was a kid on the street in so many words.
Oh, you mean Killmonger was? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Killmonger, unfortunately, he's a byproduct of he's a byproduct of a lot of different things. The situation with his father, right? Or I should say, like, the absentee black father issue. You also have the issue of being in the early 90s in Oakland,
right?
So
where the Black Panthers,
you got that homage, right?
I did.
But you also have to understand during I think in '92, you're in the era of the Rodney King beating.
Yep.
You're in the era of like the LA riots,
and you got
a whole lot of stuff that's happening during that time with a kid that doesn't have a daddy around, so he's looking for guidance somewhere.
Yep.
Keep in mind, his dad was still kind of like a radical Black Panther at this case. And you also see him
like his dad.
just like his dad.
Like his dad.
And you also see he's a byproduct of the decision that T'Chaka, Black Panther's father, made by leaving him there. Because had he came back home to Wakanda, he would have been nurtured. He would have been cool. Even if you don't have a dad, like that, you got your immediate family there to take care of you, and you're not just sitting there living on the streets. So he's a byproduct of something, of external circumstances more so than anything.
Right.
And what I like to liken him to is a riot. He is a riot. And, it reminds me of Dr. King's quote where he says, a riot is basically the voice of the people that are unheard, right? So who was there to hear him? Who was there to be around him? Nobody, nothing.
Because he didn't hold back. He was, and you know what? It was funny. I thought it was funny, but it was also a point that they was trying to prove when he got there and he was in shackles and everything like that.
Yeah.
He was just unapologetic.
Yeah.
He was real rude,
Sure.
But all of these things that he held in. And T'Challa saw that head early on.
Yeah.
Those are the good things. I like the landscape of it. It was so many different traditions and just different landscapes of Africa that they infused in Wakanda, and it made it seem real to me. I thought Wakanda, even when it was brushing up on the language a little bit, just touching on the language, they really made it feel as if it was an actual country, it was an actual language, and it was actually real. Why are so many people...
I was just going to say, all of that is intentional. Like, they put a lot of effort to incorporate already established traditions, cultures, landmarks, buildings into this movie, really to pay homage to them and not to be a mockery. So rather than just making something up and saying that's African, they actually went to real tribes, borrowed some of their stuff to really emphasize, hey, look, we're an amalgamation of like all of y'all, even though it's a fictional country.
But what gets to happening, and this happened with me, is the fact that, and I was saying this from when I saw the trailer, when you see these images and you think that you're being exploited, when we really don't know our culture.
Right.
And we really don't understand that somebody with a plate in his lip is not a depiction. It's a depiction of it. It's not a misrepresentation of it. It's an actual representation of it.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, they're just exploiting us when they're paying homage.
They're paying a lot of homage. Yeah.
So if this movie is to celebrate our excellence, if it's to celebrate who we are in terms of being technologically advanced, in so many areas, the mother of civilization, why are black people taking this in the wrong way? Why are we ashamed of this movie? Why isn't this movie black enough? What's social responsibility this movie supposed to have?
Okay, so first of all, if you think that this movie's not black enough, you're flaunting your ignorance. That's what's happening, because this movie is unapologetically black. Okay, now what I would like to make clear is that this is not an African American black movie. That dynamic is there. But this is more of like, Wakanda's in Africa. So they're not going to have the same level of American black issues that we are accustomed to seeing, especially in films.
Right.
Now, Eric Killmonger brings that up, not specific to even just America. He's like, yo, there are people that look like us all around the world that are suffering.
Right.
Yes.
And we need y'all help to do something.
Right.
Or better yet, y'all could be doing something. What are y'all doing now?
Right.
Nothing. So this isn't, that's why I'm saying it's unapologetically black, because it's not, we can't be selfish and be like, we the only black folks that suffer. Because we're not. There are third world country black people that get treated 10 times worse than we do in America. So, it's a global condition. That's why it's unapologetically black.
I think it highlights the fact that we're always looking for leadership. We're always looking for we're just always looking for something to represent us, and this movie does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because like how you said, flaunting your ignorance, the fact that it comes from Marvel, the fact that it comes from a white corporation, then it's not black enough. Just like you said.
That to me is like a bogus argument, because I heard people just trying to discredit this movie just because it came from Marvel or Disney. And I'm like, you know what? Where are we going to start from then?
But it was so many things that they maintained as far as just, and you got to learn your culture and your heritage.
Yeah.
Like the sister, Michonne.
Deny. Yeah.
That girl was bad with a spear.
Very much.
She didn't have a gun. She didn't have a sword.
One.
She didn't have a knife.
She said guns are primitive.
Exactly. And that's what people not peeping.
You gotta peep those things.
That's what people are not peeping.
She chucking around a spear, but like her spear is not no joke.
Off the chain. And you know what? Her character was so real in terms of a proud African woman.
Absolutely.
Just all the way through.
I'll give you another deeper level. She's a proud Wakandan woman. Notice that one scene after the transition happened, and they was like, yo, come with us. And she's like, yo, I'm loyal to this throne.
Yes.
She didn't want to, but she had to.
Right.
That's another dynamic you got to explore. You know, what do you do when, like, you know, your crown is on some other stuff?
Right.
Or let's just say you got a messed up person sitting in the White House or something, but you still got to be loyal to your country. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she had to deal with that internal struggle.
She was.
You know, so stuff like that. I thought that moment was her Viola Davis moment. You know, that was her from Fences with the snot and everything. You know, like she was really like, yo, I don't want to be here, but I gotta be here.
Right.
You know, so that's props to her for that. She did her thing.
So it's just ignorance that people aren't taking to this movie. Like I can't see you not seeing this. I can't see somebody seeing this movie and not thinking that it doesn't do a great job in representing African culture.
Just black culture. Black culture. Because it does touch on all of it.
So is it too much for me to wear my garbs to the show?
It depends. So are you wearing your Coming to America outfit? Or are you actually going to do what I did? I went to an actual African store. I spoke to the people that are from Africa to get a sense of what would be, you know, respectable and get an outfit that pays homage.
But it's in the same regard as a Comic Con type feel where I wouldn't wear African garb to go see Coming to America. Mm-hmm. I would wear I would take a lightsaber if I'm into Star Wars and I'm going to see, you know, a new Star Wars movie. So why is Black Panther exempt from that? Why can't we go celebrate a Comic Con type movie wearing a garb?
I think, you know, it's a couple layers to this, right? So first of all, you have to understand that even though this is a made-up country, it's still paying homage to real people, right? Real people from real tribes.
Right.
You know, like people in the movie are from Kenya. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like there are Yoruba tribes, you know, being represented. So if I sit here and let's just say I get my big old chain and my lion skin and all this stuff, who am I representing? Who am I paying homage to? If I'm sitting right next to my Nigerian friend, how does that person feel that I'm sitting here making a caricature of their actual culture?
Right.
I'm Haitian. I don't need everybody thinking that the only things that come out of Haiti are voodoo.
Right.
Because that's not the case.
Right.
But if they made a movie like that, I'd be messed up and real mad if everybody wanted to come in with some witch doctor face paint. Because that's not Haiti.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
So wait.
Now you can come. So
low
you can come.
Is Africa being mocked?
Not in this movie.
Low key.
Not in this movie.
But then why is it such? Why can't I wear my African garb to go see an African movie?
No, you can wear the African garb.
Right.
I'm just saying you don't make it a costume.
Right.
Wear African attire.
When I saw a
but
clip,
not a costume.
I saw a clip today where I don't know if it was before or after. They were actually they had some congas playing on the side, and it was some sisters dancing in front. Now, is that extreme?
To me, it's kind of like, what's the limitation on your celebration? Am I supposed to tell you to stop celebrating because you too loud?
Right.
Am I supposed to tell you, yo, bro, you got too many balloons up for your kid's birthday? That's too much.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, so what if they want to play some? I mean, don't play it during the movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, take that outside. But my thing is this. I'm not going to knock other people for celebrating something that they never had before. That's not my place. And I don't think it's anybody else's place.
I think D has a question.
Who? Yeah.
How do you feel about the people who are really profiting off of this?
Disney? Yeah, so that's just business. You know, so like...
Well,
you know,
wait a minute. Before you go into that, the actual business is that you have other stars. Like
Chadwick.
I
Yeah.
got my notes.
I got you, bro.
Chadwick is signed on to another 5 movies.
Yes.
So I don't know if Civil War and Black Panthers are included.
That's 2 of them.
So he has 3 more movies.
Yep.
We know Infinity War is
So
1.
that'll be his 3rd. It's definitely gonna be a sequel.
Right. There's definitely gonna be a sequel. So he's in bed with Marvel, right?
Yes.
Why is Chadwick?
Now hold on. Before you get to that question,
Why is Chadwick?
No, hold on, because this is gonna tie
Black
in.
Panther
This is gonna tie in.
Making $874,000 for a movie that was just debuted, number 6 highest grossing movie opening at all time, with Captain America at $710,000.
Yeah.
The reality of it is, as a black star, he's underpaid for these blockbusters that he's putting out.
So
that's real.
Now it's real.
That's not what Wakanda.
It's real, but it's not accurate. So let me go back to Nikki's question, and I'm gonna tie that into yours. When you're talking about profit, this is a business first and foremost, right?
Of course.
So let's just say I'm an artist. Are we going to say music companies are evil or bad, or any type of entity that makes money? That's what business is.
Right.
Now, what happens now is that, and what makes this significant, every single actor, every single director, writer, producer that's attached to this big old money machine,
I'm listening,
is getting nothing but exposure.
Right.
Everybody's about to know who Ryan Coogler, the director and writer, is now. He's made it. What does that mean? That means he's now about to get greenlit for any project that he wants to do.
True.
Which usually, from looking at his track record, is usually black focused. Chadwick Boseman is already established, but now he's on that level where he's getting exposed to more than just a black audience.
But when do we get to the point where we pay him for what he's worth?
I will get to that. I will
He's
get to
made
that. I will get to that.
Movies,
I will get to
he
that.
has not grossed more than
I will get to that.
3.5
now,
yet.
Every single person that here's the thing. How many black-owned movie studios do you know of?
1.
Okay. Can they afford a $200 budget movie?
$200?
$200 million.
No.
No. This movie cost $200 million.
Okay.
Who else was going to invest and allow them to get an unapologetically black perspective in a movie?
Do you not think that they could forecast the fact that this was going to do the numbers that it
Absolutely.
did?
Again, it's a business.
Right.
It's a business. But okay, let me ask you this. But let me ask you this. If we say, what's the alternative to the? Let's play this logic out. Let's just say, nope, we're too black. We got to do black back end, and we gonna make a let's say $35 million Black Panther movie.
Right.
Who's coming out to that? First of all, with the production value not looking like a $200 million movie.
I get that.
So it's gonna look janky. We already don't trust janky. So we're not going to support it the same way. So the only reason I'm saying this is because we have to start somewhere.
I agree.
Everybody started somewhere. Tyler Perry was selling CDs out the back of his trunk before Oprah made it. Because keep in mind, Oprah had to start somewhere too. Before she could become a billionaire. Before she can actually own her own network to put Tyler Perry on so that he could open up his own studio so that he could start hiring other people to put them on the track to start making their own too.
I agree with that. But I think that it is a vast disconnection in terms of what they were supposed to pay him. He is paid less than $1 million.
So let's get to the pay. Let's get to the pay. Let's get to the pay.
He wants to play the game.
No, let's go to the pay. Because I know you're quoting this. Chris Evans.
Yes.
No. Yeah, I'll go with Chris Evans. Chris Evans. Prior to that, because with any actor, you come in with a rate, right?
Yeah.
Because based off of your acting resume,
yes,
usually, depending on whether you're a lead, whether you're a co-star, a supporting actor, whatever, you got a certain rate for what you do.
Right.
Whatever your rate is at that point, they can't typically go lower than that unless, you get caught up in some mess and you want some back burner stuff. But let's just say your rate going into a movie is like, as a lead actor, I make $100,000. So you got to offer me more or the same. Look at The Rock. The Rock is a perfect example. When he first started making solo movies, he was offered $5 million or something to make that. After that, it stayed at $5 million. The next time he made a big blockbuster, he was like, you need to pay me more because look at my track record. They paid him 10. After he kept doing that, they paid him 15. After that, kept making money. Now they boosted him up. He's around $25 million per movie. But that's his track record and that's his rate. Chris Evans coming in, Captain America, he didn't have that kind of track record. He was doing, romantic comedies that nobody really cared about, and he never led a movie. He was just like in them. So his rate going into Captain America, I want to say he made like 300,000.
He was on the Fantastic Four, the Flame guy.
Yeah, nobody cared. And he wasn't the lead. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't the lead. He wasn't carrying a movie.
Right.
His first time really carrying a movie, especially a big budget movie, was Captain America. They paid him $300,000 based off of his rate.
I did not know that.
Right. I told you I was coming with some stuff.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Thor, Chris Hemsworth, came in. You know how much he made?
No.
First solo movie. Chris Hemsworth is not a good actor.
At all.
Thor.
$150,000
for his first solo movie.
So we need to be boycotting Marvel.
So no. Marvel is smart. Marvel is business. This is, if you think of it like, let's just say the NBA.
Right.
When let's just say you got a top prospect, right? Or let's not even say they're a top prospect. Let's just say we look deep in the draft. Yo, we know this person right here is a sleeper, but we gonna get him in the 7th round when nobody knows him, nobody cares about him, but we gonna pick him up. We gonna sign him to like a 6-year deal for like $2 million to play ball. But guess what? We know he gonna ball out like LeBron James.
Right.
But guess what? He could ball out all day, but he's not gonna break that 7-year contract.
Right.
But you know what? With actors, when they purposely get them with these big long deals when they're smaller and their rate is low, because they're not about to go hire a Will Smith for a 5-year deal because they'll go bankrupt.
Unless I have just some type of emotional connection with the movies that Chadwick made before Black Panther, I would think that he would have proven himself by then.
Because Chadwick, who watched Get On Down?
I watched Get On Down.
I'm not saying that you didn't. I did too. But did white people watch?
I understand.
Did the bigger audiences do that?
But wouldn't you think that it's just messed up the cycle that he's caught in, because he's putting out great depictions of movies that he's doing a great job in, but he's underpaid.
He's not underpaid compared to what? Who are you comparing him to?
The
He
fact
literally
that this
got
man has
paid
made
more
6
money.
movies.
He got paid double than what Chris Evans, Captain America, who has one of the best movies in all comic book history, he got paid double that.
But Marvel was on a come up itself. Marvel was on in terms of before you start making like their first real. I'm not gonna say their first real big blockbuster. I'm not gonna challenge you on this. Mm-hmm. But Avengers, the first one, really put them on the map in terms of.
And everybody got screwed on Avengers except for Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. came in because, keep in mind, he's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
So his resume is pretty long. Yeah. So he's not talking about no couple 100,000. He came in with 10 million, I want to say. Yeah. No, they offered him like a little bit less, but he made a really good deal where he was like, yo, with Iron Man and with the Avengers, give me a piece of the profit of the DVDs. So that's how he's earning like 1 or 2% off of like $1 billion, right, off of royalties and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's where that 10 million really comes from. After Avengers came out, everybody else, keep in mind, Chris Evans, $300,000. Chris Hemsworth only getting $150,000 for these big long deals. He went in, Robert Downey, to tell Disney, yo, I'm not coming back unless you raise everybody's rate up.
So in this perspective, Chadwick is favored from Marvel opposed to...
I'm saying he's not being underpaid.
Right.
I'm saying he's getting paid more progressively compared to... Because if he was underpaid, he would have made less than what Chris Hemsworth did. Or Chris Evans.
Of course.
But he didn't. He made double that.
More than
for their first movie.
More than double.
More than double.
700 for Winter Soldier.
Exactly. Now, you can't look at anyone else outside of Robert Downey Jr. who had their first solo movie and get that rate. That's why I'm saying he's not underpaid. If you look at the pattern for every Marvel person that got their own solo movie to lead.
So why do we think that we're being gypped? Why do we think that
because we don't know how the business works.
We don't know.
And we don't look. It's flaunting the ignorance. And I can't fault people for that, but it's like when you get exposed to the knowledge, or if it's accessible via Google, you should hold yourself accountable to that.
I just think that we're looking for Black Panther to do something, just like everything else that relates to black folks.
Yeah.
When it's a major release or whatever the case may be, it has to do something for us. And it's a Marvel movie. It's a fictional movie that's not real, that follows the
it's not. It's fictional, but the thing is, it's tapping into something real.
Yes.
And that's what makes it stand apart. I mean, so in my upcoming review, what I like to say is that Black Panther comes in with the Obama effect.
I'm listening.
Okay, and that Obama effect is basically like we came up never expecting a black president. Like that the idea just never happened. And you know how they usually say, like, you don't know what you're missing until it's gone?
Of course.
The inverse happened. We didn't know that we were missing this until we saw it.
Right.
It wasn't until we was like, oh, wait. We can be royalty and the most advanced at this, and this, and there's no white savior involved. There's no colonists. There nothing.
Right.
Wakanda, what I like to tell people is like, it's the visual manifestation of the dream of every single African American that we never knew was possible. Okay?
That
was
dope.
We never
That was dope.
Only for your show, G. Only for your show. You know, we've never sat here and thought about what a world would look like on planet Earth that wasn't colonized,
Right.
had no slavery,
Right.
and racism never demonized a group of people just for the color of their skin.
Right.
We never know. What country can you point to that looks like that? And we're the most advanced at technology, medicine,
most advanced.
wealthiest. Like, yo, Black Panther has like 20 to 60 trillion dollars.
Right.
Because of the vibranium.
Right.
We talking about Batman, 9 billion.
Right.
Pennies.
Right.
Like, Black Panther could buy them like 4 or 5 times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, just to know that exists, even if it's fictional, it's a dream that we can attain.
And it's crazy because and you know what? Just listening to this today, I hear that Chadwick
Boseman.
Boseman.
Yeah.
I hear that he's gotten paid more than the other white actors that had their start with their trilogies.
He's had a better resume too.
True.
Yeah.
I hear that this is just ignorance on our community where we just find something to complain about.
Yeah, because the reality is, like, you might look at this as, oh man, he's only getting paid $600 million or $600,000. But guess what? The level of exposure that he has right now, he's about to sign other side deals.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be forced to pay him more on the side. So yeah, I'm making $600,000 with Marvel here for now. But when I go do this solo movie, like let's say Thurgood Marshall 2 or whatever,
right?
Y'all paying me a couple million.
And I looked at it.
My rate is going up now.
I looked at it like that
because of the exposure that Marvel and Disney puts you on. Look at what happened with no, that's not bad.
But not even that. You got Scorsese, and he'll have this one, that one actor that he works with, whether it be De Niro, whether Leo, whatnot. And he goes with them with multiple movie deals, and that's the same thing that Coogler
and
with Jordan.
Yeah, Coogler and Jordan, they definitely got their connection.
And that's the one thing that I don't think that we see is that we're putting ourselves in a position to make bigger blockbuster films.
Yes.
To just have that opportunity.
That's why I don't have a problem with the fact that they're working for Disney or Disney's making money. I don't care because they were gonna make money regardless. I'd rather them make money with us than exclude us and go make money. So it's a means to an end at the end of the day.
Black Panther or Winter Soldier?
I can make the argument for both, but just to be fun, I can make the argument for Black Panther.
Please.
Why don't you tell me why Captain America 2 is better?
For one, it's Captain America.
Ooh.
Okay. His shield is vibranium.
Oh, he got that from Black Panther, by the way, from Wakanda.
And
made in Wakanda.
So ironic.
Made from Wakanda.
Nah, you know what? Now, I didn't like Thor 2. I hated Thor.
Which one?
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok? Yeah,
I hated it.
It was cool.
Oh,
it was
my
funny.
God, it was horrible.
Okay.
And even still, like, there was some comedy elements to Black Panther. Like, when, like,
there was humor. It's not a comedy.
Well, no, I said some comedy.
It
It touched on some comedic parts at the same time. But Winter Soldier to me was a serious movie. Like, it was the first Marvel movie that from beginning to me, where it seemed as if it was superheroes in it, but it was a real storyline. It was just like more of a serious movie.
Sure.
Right. So
what you're saying is if something has humor, that's a knock?
No, I just think that they intend it was.
So what you bringing that up for? I'm trying to see why it's better.
I'm not done talking.
Okay.
But
I'm just trying to follow your train of thought.
Way more action scenes.
Yes, I will give
way
you that.
more action
Absolutely.
scenes. I think that I was actually robbed in Black Panther. You was paying attention more so to how beautiful the storyline was. That I didn't get from a Marvel movie what I would normally get from a Marvel.
So let me ask you this: does action outweigh drama?
In a Marvel movie, yes.
No, why is it? So who cares?
Because you know that you
But
about
you
to
just
get.
said it's
you
outside
know
of a
that
comic
you know
book
that
movie, right?
you know that Captain America is about to throw his shield. It's going to bounce here. It's going to bounce here. It's going to blow up a truck, and there's going to be these great explosions.
Sure.
That's what I'm expecting from a
Well,
Marvel movie.
I think what's happening is we're limiting our perspective on what makes a good movie. Because the thing is,
I think
you
there's
can
a
have,
difference. I think there's a difference of a Marvel movie and a regular movie.
I do agree with that, and okay, so let me give you my explanation of Cap 2, because I have that up in my top 3, right? And Black Panther. One box that they both check off, they exceed their comic book genre.
Definitely.
Because Cap 2, I absolutely agree with you. It's an espionage movie that just so happens to have superheroes in it.
Absolutely.
Black Panther is a movie about a fictional, African country with a rich black king who happens to have a Black Panther suit. So it's not a superhero movie.
Right.
You don't see like gimmicky little villains.
Right,
and,
right,
I'm gonna get you. It's not like that. So they both break the genre. They got that box checked off.
Right.
Cap 2, absolutely. They knock out the action. The car chasing, dope. Epic with Sam Jackson. I mean, it's dope, right? The opening scene was awesome.
All the way through.
Black Panther, the difference I would say is that they tackle family and political drama way better because it's a different movie. It doesn't have to be the same action to be better. It's just two different genres. I could sit here and say The Notebook is the greatest love story ever. And then I'll say The Godfather is like dope too. They're doing two different things, but they both great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the only way I can compare certain things like that is if it's action for action. Now we can talk. If it's drama versus action, like, it's a wash. Did you do your intention well? I think Black Panther knocked out the political stuff because that is the root of the comic book story. It's all about that kingly decision. Yo, do we help out these outsiders who've been acting a fool for centuries?
Or do we stay in the shadows?
Do we stay in the shadows?
Right.
Like, do I protect my people?
Right.
Because we see how the outside world handles stuff?
Deeper
or do we help?
Deeper
because
level.
we actually have
More
resources?
More in depth.
It's definitely more in depth.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing. So, like, my thing is this. You can have both of these genres do different things, and that's cool. Black Panther, one edge that I'll give to it over Cap 2, it's doing things that we've never seen before. Everything I've seen in Cap 2 was done before in some other movie, some way, shape, or form. I have never seen a conversation, an in-house conversation, which is how African Americans and Africans would dialogue on the screen like that. I've never seen that. We've done it, Facebook posts maybe here or there, but I've never seen that on screen. To have that level of dialogue expanded into an entire storyline, because that's essentially what it is. Because, we always have these little perceptions of like, oh, Africans are this way, they look down on us. Or Africans are like, man, Africans Americans, they think they all, whatever.
Right.
That's what we have with Killmonger and with Black Panther,
That's
right? So
reality,
that dynamic, I give them credit for doing something different.
I just noticed you're wearing a crown.
Yes, sir. That's the only way I can do it now. After you watch Black Panther, that's the only way. That's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
So we should go see Black Panther.
Oh, you have to.
You have to.
2 times.
2 times.
Or something.
Final thought, I got to get to my musical guest that came here tonight.
Yes.
We see Black Panther, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's not anything that's going to be lost in translation in terms of misrepresentation of Africa. That is a great depiction of Africa.
I would say so. Yeah.
There is not no exploitation that Marvel is trying to get across.
Nah.
And great movie.
Great movie.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, the actor, director, writer, producer.
All black.
That's huge.
All black.
That's huge. We don't get that very often to run it across the board. That just means that our perception and integrity of the movie is maintained. It's not whitewashed. There are no white saviors in this movie. There's no, Michael Fassbender in 12 Years a Slave sitting here trying to, hold us. We don't have that.
And let's kill that argument, because that meme is floating around where he's getting paid $800,000 to do this.
Right.
But in terms of being a debut character,
Solo movie lead.
He's the highest paid.
He's getting paid.
Other than Robert Downey Jr.
Other than Robert Downey, because
Robert Downey Jr.
he's got that route. Yeah, he's
Right.
got that clout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emmanuel knows that.
Yes, sir.
What's the name of your review?
E-Man's Movie Reviews. You can Google me. You can go on Facebook. Join the 40,000 fans that are rocking with us. You know,
humble.
I mean, hey, I'm appreciative for every single one of them. You know, I chat with everybody. I'm on there. I'm doing what I can for the people, and you know, come and check me out. E-Man's Movie Reviews. Do the thing.